Hello, friends, and welcome to our weekly connection. We actually have some extra friends joining us today because we are all so excited about coming home from SFR and riding that high and excitement, knowing what the next incentive trip is, knowing that our most busy, most beautiful, fragrant season is upon us. And we wanted to talk today about things you need to do to get yourselves ready to work on earning the incentive trip that starts August 1st. That's the beginning of the incentive period. So today we are going to focus, since we don't have the point breakdown yet, and we won't until the 1st, and we are planning to do another call recorded going over the legitimate, here's what you need to do, here's the points breakdown for everything when that launches. But today we are going to go over things that are super crucial to start now so that you're ready to get earning as soon as August 1st hits. So we're going to go over things like dream team lists, partying, club, PRV boosters, those kinds of things. So before we get started, how many of you were at SFR? Nice, in person. And how many of you were virtual? No, all of you were in person. Some of you don't have your cameras on, so I can't see, but I'm imagining that you're participating. And feel free to drop it in the chat too if you were in person or virtual or couldn't make it happen this year but are super excited for Minnesota next year. I'm stoked. Don't forget to mark your calendars, July 28th through the 31st in Minnesota, okay? July 28th through the 31st. I'm still letting people in, so we're going to kind of go over a couple of things. Okay, awesome. People, you were in person. Love it. Love it. Couldn't make it. Totally get it. In person. Yay. We had such a blast last week. The energy can anybody testify to how incredible the energy was? It was just, I think, what so many of us needed. I saw some hands raised. It was so good. Does anybody want to come on real quick and say what their like aha moment was, what they're super jazzed about coming home and like ready to hit the ground running? What got your fire lit again? Or you can write it in the chat too, but I love to hear other people's voices.
Okay, so mine was that I kind of went in stagnant. Like I have been stagnant in my business, but then once getting there and seeing everybody else, and even like superstar directors, you're not the only one stagnant. Everybody has that rhythm. So when you're in a funk, everybody else might be. And that was what really just pushed me because they kept working. And even though they were like slowing down, it was that momentum to just keep going. Even if it's a little bit, that stride is huge in the long term. So I came home, I found a little notebook and into work, writing numbers and just going to make me accountable for my own actions.
Oh,
Same.
Cynthia, I love that. Go ahead, Caitlin.
Cynthia and I actually together had talked to one SSD who opened my eyes to realize, like, she asked us how we were feeling. She looked at our lanyards, and my title says superstar consultant, but I don't get paid as a superstar consultant. And I said that to her, and she verbally, so to speak, smacked my face and said, "Stop it. Stop telling yourself that you're an imposter. You earned that title." And it made me reflect on what did I do to get that title. And she said that even superstar directors are feeling the same way that we're feeling, like stagnant or like an imposter, or just not having the success or the progress that we want to see. And so just reflecting back the last couple of days on like what was I doing before and trying to get back into those same systems.
Awesome. I love it. Thanks for sharing. In the comments, a couple of people shared about Diana Nyad. She said, not a fingernail more. So Diana Nyad was our keynote speaker, and she's incredible. She has a movie, like her story is very inspirational. And she is the first and only person to swim shark cage free from Cuba to Florida. And so her thing was, you've got to do your very best. And if you come out knowing that you could not have done a fingernail more, you couldn't have done any better, then you did what you needed to do, right? So kind of keeping that mantra in mind, I think, is what a lot of people are excited about. Someone else realized they needed to really step into their role as a leader, and Jennifer said she will. So I'm excited for that for you. That's what an incredible place to be. Shelby, I saw you unmute.
Okay, my was honestly, I didn't think Heidi and Orville leaving was going to have such an impact. And I don't think I even recognized it for like the first year, year and a half. But seeing them at leadership and like their love and just how they, reassured us and how they just, I mean, you could just feel like the presence change and everything. And to me, it was like tangible and it was like, okay, we needed them back. It's amazing. And I think, Dan and the home office team has been amazing, but there's just something when you feel like your parents are there, like it just changed for me. And I mean, there's other parts of my business obviously that need work, but it's something that was like, oh, I don't know. I loved it.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Whit said in the comments that reconnecting with teamies in real life, knowing they're still there and wanting to keep swimming. Gosh, and in-person events are a game changer. So like I said, put it on your calendar for next year. If there is any way that you can make it happen July 28th through the 31st in Minneapolis, please come. Start planning now. If you need to have a jar set aside where you put in a couple dollars a week to make sure that you have the funds to get there, please do that. We know that this fall is amazing for so many reasons, to include we usually sell more. We usually have more hosts. We usually bring on more teammates, which means our paychecks are usually bigger. So something that you might consider is either the clamshell trick where you fill clamshells with quarters to be able to fund SFR, or you live by means of your previous paychecks and anything beyond your average paycheck you put into savings for things like World Tour and Scentsy Family Reunion. So figure out what is going to get you there and join us next year because it is incredible. And Whitney even said the reassurance from Orville is what she needed. Like, there's just something about the way that Orville speaks to everybody. He is very direct. He makes sure that we know that we are loved, but he also doesn't beat around the bush. He says what needs to be said. And sometimes it can feel like a gut punch, but that's when we know we're not doing the things that we need to do, right? Amen. And so we are going to fix that starting today. Does anybody else want to share anything before we get going into the things that you need to plan to do so that we can earn this incentive trip together?
I noticed for me, my business was kind of dragging the last couple months, and then this month it actually turned around a little bit. I actually downloaded the new Scentsy Connect app, and that's actually helped me a lot more figuring out, okay, how can I plan my week out? How can I break down what I need to get done? And it kind of helped me keep track of all the customers that I had and the ones that I had in the past. Or like, oh, let's reconnect with these ones. Like you kind of, I feel like when you have like so many customers, you forget who you actually have as a customer and who like is like a potential new customer. You get a little bit overwhelmed. I feel like we all get that way sometimes. We have so many people to contact and we have to like break it down.
Yes. Joey, I am so glad you brought that up. I had forgotten to write that in my notes. So thank you. Such a good reminder. Raise of hands or in the comments, how many of you have at least downloaded the app? Okay. How many of you have used it since you've downloaded it? Fantastic. Okay, that's okay. That's okay, right? There is always room to improve, do better, do more. And the only unfortunate thing, so many of us have switched to Project Broadcast since Amy was, dissolved a couple years ago. And so unfortunately, it doesn't connect our Project Broadcast number with the Scentsy Connect. But that doesn't mean there aren't workarounds. That doesn't mean we cannot use this app to its fullest. Eventually, their goal is to get this all on desktop on the workstation so that it all connects and we can use it however we want. But if you have your email connected, if you have your, I think the social media links, are those working yet? Do we know? If not, those are in the works. They're not yet. Okay. If not, those are in the works to be able to connect to those so you can talk via Messenger, but at least being able to see who you need to contact and what you need to say to them, what we're following up on. Those are incredibly useful tools. What a resource is what I meant to say. I was combining all the things. Okay, so that being said, who's ready to talk about what you need to do to implement, to start now, to plan to get on that boat to Turkey and Greece? I'm freaking ready, you guys. Did you feel the energy shift when they made the announcement of the trip? Oh my gosh, it was so exciting. If you haven't been on a cruise before, or if you have had a crappy single cruise experience, I want to just let you know that this is going to be so much better. So my very first incentive trip that I earned was the Mediterranean cruise, and it blew my mind. We went to all those ports on the Mediterranean. It was in France, in Spain, in Italy, and it was just an incredible, phenomenal experience. So I can't wait to have that happen again. But we need to do the right things in our business. And I'm not going to shame anybody because I know I have not been doing all the things either, but these are things that we should be doing consistently in our business year round. So if you need that gentle reminder of, okay, this isn't just the fall season implementation, this is how I keep this my career and my income year round. Take it for what you will. But these are things that we should be doing, but maybe this is the kickstart you needed to be able to implement these things. Okay, so what do we need to do to earn incentives? The biggest points usually come from sponsoring people and promoting, right? Promoting, whether they promote or whether we promote. But PRV is not to be overlooked. And partying is not to be overlooked. I know so many people cringe at that anymore, but you guys, how do we meet new people? Maybe you've got a really awesome social media network, and I applaud you for that. That is so rad to be able to pour into that. But we usually meet people through people. Yeah? And that's how we expand our circles and get into other circles and keep meeting new people, is partying and then partying with those who partied to be able to keep growing our network. So parties aren't dead, you guys. Maybe how you party needs to be shifted. Maybe we look at refreshing that, revamping that. Maybe you once did events and those are no longer in your wheelhouse. I used to do every event that I could, whether it was a small church event, a little school fair. I used to pack my stuff up and do all those things. I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm going to have to figure out how to shift. I love in-person parties. I think they are so fun. The energy is incredible. I probably need like 48 hours to recover from each because the social aspect is draining to me, but I absolutely love it. So my plan is to book a lot of in-home parties locally. And if not, I want to do online parties. So booking parties. How do you book a party? I would start by looking at past hosts, past people who have either had a shopping link or done a full up legit party, and make a list of those people and be transparent. Say, hey guys, the fall season is coming up and we actually have this really awesome incentive I'm wanting to earn. I want to get on that boat. Are you willing to help? And give them options of how to help, right? Your people want to support you, even if it's simply sharing your posts. Maybe people can't financially support you right now. That's okay. That's an opportunity to maybe have them book a party so they don't have to pay out of pocket for their Scentsy. But if that's not in their wheelhouse, ask them to help share your stuff or refer people to you. The power of referral, the power of your name is massive. Yeah? Okay, so looking at your past hosts, look at your club subscribers. Is somebody subscribing monthly and they're spending a lot of money and you're earning commissions off of them? Maybe you let them know, hey, I'd love to help you get your own money back while you're saving and reaping those club perks. How can I help you with that? Give them the details. Keep it simple though. With all of these, I encourage you to keep it simple. I like to get wordy. And so what I like to do, because I know I am who I am, I write things out. And then I I read them through and I'm like, what can I cut out of this? What is too much? What leaves them enough information that they're wanting more? And it's okay. Know who you are and accept that and figure out ways to adapt. We are adaptable. All right, so look at your club subscribers. Then I would look at your frequently purchasing customers. People who are purchasing all the time. Offer them the business opportunity, much like you would your club subscribers. And if they're not interested, ask if they'd like to open a shopping link to get the 10% off during transition month. Maybe August isn't in their books. Maybe they're ready for the fall scents. Say, okay, can I put you down for a September party? Give them the options. Let them know they're not limited. Speaking of parties, let me see, where is this on my list? We're going to do it. I have printed out. So whether you're digital or you're a pen and paper kind of person, I have printed out calendars because my goal is to book these freaking 6 months up. Okay? So what am I going to do with these calendars? I actually already kind of started one, so I'm going to bring it over to this, but I have them in 2-month segments. I feel like that's easier for people to, it's not overwhelming. I have them in 2-month segments, and I'm going to write all of my available dates, every single one. And what's my goal going to be? To fill the entire calendar. Yeah. So look at your schedule, whatever that looks like. So on this one over here, I'd kind of done a mock because I did an event right before SFR. So I wrote down, okay, I'd like to do 3 online parties here, 2 online parties here. I have this night available 6 to 8 p.m. So that's a party. And then on Saturdays, I warned my family. I was like, hey guys, August, I'm going to be like working a lot. I love you so much. So my goal is to book like 2 Saturday parties. Will this happen? If I don't stop asking, if I don't take no for an answer, if I keep moving, yeah, it'll happen. But I also just found out one of my Augusts is now out. So anyway, we are adaptable. If you hear nothing else from me this season, you're going to hear that I am adaptable. Okay. So get your calendar out, mark when you are available, and then go to your customers. Go to this list that you're making, your past hosts, your club subscribers, your frequent customers. And don't forget the ever important dream team list. If you haven't updated one, if you haven't made one in a while, this is your sign. Make one. Go through everybody in your friends list. Go through everybody in your contacts tab in your phone. Sometimes I forget that that's an option, right? I forget that my phone has people in there too beyond social media. Utilize those resources. Let them know what you are working toward. Let them know the different ways that they can help and support you. And again, if it's just cheering you on, accept that and say thank you. Because we're going to need cheerleaders. By the time November and December roll around, you're going to need people cheering you on because it's going to get hard. And that's okay. Plan for that. Know that. That's why I want to encourage you to book up the first couple months as much as you can. We call that front loading. For those of you who might be new, might not know, we call that front loading. So that at the end, you're not scrambling. Make sense? So make that dream team list. People who you would love to work alongside. Maybe you see them as a shining light. Their energy is magnetic and contagious. Share that with them. Let them know how you see them and that you would love to work alongside them. You'd love to partner with them and Scentsy and help them build a business. Cool. All right. So the next one, friends list, dream team list. Oh, calendar. That was next on my list. Calendar. We talked about that. Check, check. Plan it. Another thing that sometimes goes overlooked, make sure your personal website is active. I understand that it's $15 plus tax a month. You guys, that's a write-off. Also, income disclosure statement over all of this conversation that we are having, because this is recorded. I want to make sure everybody understands results are not typical, but neither are you. Yeah? Your PWS should be active. You never know who's going to see what post and when they're going to see it. You never know who's going to want to passively shop at 3 a.m. Maybe they're up feeding a baby. Maybe they get home from work and they're on the toilet and they just want to shop and decompress. We don't judge people, right? But if you don't have your website active, where are they going to go? Someone else, maybe? Make sure that you are there and present. Something I learned, actually, let's go over this first. We have the 5x5 checklist. If you have heard me speak anytime over the last several years, I talk about the 5x5 checklist frequently because these are actions that you should be taking every day in your life. And if you want to change it, it's 5 actions, 5 days a week. So since we're going to be in incentive season, maybe you're wanting to push it more. Do 5 by 7 days a week. You choose. It's like a choose your own adventure. But let me share this image with you so you guys can see what I'm talking about if you're just hearing this for the first time. So these 5 actions, 5 to 7 days a week, are going to not only keep you present and visible on social media, but it's also going to help keep you accountable. And if you're using the Scentsy Connect app with this, it's going to be gold. So make one post on Instagram or Facebook. It doesn't matter where it is, wherever you feel most comfortable, wherever your audience is, make one post. And I know that you know this, but you are not just a Scentsy consultant. You are a whole being, right? There are so many things about you that people connect with, they relate to, that they love about you, and that they want to see. So don't make it just about Scentsy. Make it about your journey with Scentsy. Make it about the books you're reading, what you're making. Do you like to work out? Do you like to crochet? Is your favorite thing to do rainbow looms like my children's is right now? Share that. People want to know about you. People are also nosy, right? They want to see what's going on in your life. So whatever you're comfortable with, share it. Make one offer every single day. Whether it's asking somebody to join this opportunity, whether it's asking somebody to host a party or a fundraiser of some sort, or if making a purchase, make one offer every day. Next is following up with your customers. This is where that Connect app comes in handy. So excited. Following up with your customers and with your team. If you have a team, this is really beneficial there. It's so much easier with that Connect app. Now you know who to follow up with. You don't just have to like scroll through your order history and throw darts and pick. So next is to post in your Instagram stories or make a reel or go live. This is scary for a lot of people, but show your face. Just like people want to see what's going on in your life, they also want to see your face and hear your voice. They want to hear from you. So figure out how to make that work for you. And then the next is connect with 5 to 10 new leads. Does this feel daunting? Absolutely. But maybe this should be the first thing that you do. Eat your frog, right? Do the scariest, biggest, most daunting thing first, and everything else is going to be a breeze. So you want to connect with 5 to 10 new people based off of what hobbies you've got. Again, if you don't have maybe a bigger social network on social media, and maybe home parties or events aren't in your wheelhouse, this is going to be the way to expand your network this fall. Find 5 to 10 new people every single day who you might have something in common with, right? Find an account on Instagram, or find people who are commenting on a popular account on Instagram who you feel like you could vibe with, and just start commenting. Don't cold DM them. That's icky. And it might go to their request folder. They're never going to see it. Like, don't do that. But comment, engage with them on the socials, and start building relationships that way. Because when you do it, when it has nothing to do with Scentsy, they're going to automatically they're going to feel the connection. They're going to want to be around you too. And when you're posting about your life and Scentsy within your life, they're going to see that. It's going to be a natural connection. Okay, so that's the 5x5 checklist, or 5x7 if you're pushing. The next thing I want you to do is what my friend Whitney taught me, is making an ask, track, and follow-up list, the ATF. I actually have it in my planner here. I'm going digital. I'm working my best to go digital. So ask, track, and follow up. I have this as kind of like a graph. So you write down, and it can be so simple. Get a piece of paper, get a planner, get digital, whatever works for you. The name of the person, and again, the Scentsy Connect app is going to help you find the who. Write it down. Write when you followed up with them, and write what you followed up with them about, whether it was join, host, buy, or club. Write down what. And then I have another column here that says F you, but it means follow up. Like, what did they say? Did you have to message them again? Like, if they said no or ghosted you, I just write notes of, they ignored me this time. I'm going to come back and we're going to circle around, because responses are not about you, you guys. Unless you've done something to piss them off, their responses are not about you. Whether it's a yes, no, or ghost, it's whatever's going on in their life. So the blanket statement for all of this, when you're asking people, when you're making posts, when you're sharing your heart, remember, it is not personal. Their no is not a reflection of you. Their no is a reflection of what's going on in their life. And so please remove that weight, because it is heavy. The weight of other people's responses, what they say, how they act, that's nothing to do with you. So it's not about you. Remove that weight and move on to the next. Yeah? Cool. And I don't think that can be understated. As humans, I think we often, it's a tendency to take things personally. So don't. And if you need a reminder, I'm here for that. I will help remind you that it's not you. Okay, back to my list. The final thing I have on here, and then I'll open it up to anybody else who might have suggestions of things that we should start focusing on and do, is success paths. I know several of us have already gone through the success paths, and you have access to every level up to what title you are. So if you are a lead consultant, you have essential, certified, and lead consultant success paths. And we have gone through essential and certified as teams. And I know Whitney's gone through more with her leaders. They are an invaluable resource. When we were going through them, I can't tell you how many times I said, oh my gosh, I forgot about this, or what a great idea, or holy crap, simple. I've been overcomplicating it, or man, I'm going to implement that. That's beautiful, right? We are never too far gone to go back to the basics, right? Does that make sense? Yeah, cool. All right, guys. That was all I had on my list. What else do you, so like I said, we are going to be doing an actual planning session when we have the point breakdown so that everybody walks away August 1st. I think we're planning it for August 1st. So that's next Thursday. Everyone walks away with a plan of this is how many points I need. This is what I'm going to do to earn them. Let's go. But today we're talking about the things that you can start doing to like prime those pumps, right? You can't just turn a fish tank on and the filter is going to automatically start working. Figure this out. You need to put water in. I thought it was broken. I'm not kidding. I put together the fish tank and I was like, Donnie, we're going to have to take it back. This damn thing is broken. What happened? No, I didn't put water inside of the pump to prime it so that it could start filtering. So we got to prime the pumps by getting all of these ready, by booking our calendars out. When you do this, you have a whole week before the incentive period starts. Let's make it count. Whether you do a mini booking blitz with yourself, whether you just sit down, set a timer and say, I am going to contact everybody I can, or I'm going to make my list this day, and this day I'm going to contact everybody I know and book my calendar. You have a week to get that done, to be ready to hit the go button. So what other tips do you guys have about this? People are saying plant the seeds today to harvest the rewards. Yes and amen. Fill it up. I'm following up with Costco membership guy tomorrow that you just talked to today. The Costco membership guy. I don't know that story. Did you say it above and I just didn't hear it? What did I miss? Oh, I missed a lot of comments, you guys. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, my comments are not staying for whatever reason. Like it'll pop up, but I can't see all the comments from the entire recording for whatever reason. So maybe it'll, once we see the recording, they'll pop up later. Anyway, I want to talk about Scentsy Club for a minute because we talk about, you know, priming the pumps and booking out our calendar. What about like solid PRV that we can already count on being there? What about trip points that are already going to be on our tracker because we have them through Scentsy Club? Because you can literally look out months at a time in advance to see how much PRV and club subscription have. So check, check, check. Those are already points that you're going to get. Because honestly, like, yes, we want to have parties to meet new people. That someone in the comments said, do you have suggestions for being in a new area? And I'll circle back on that in a minute. But honestly, yes, it's about meeting new customers. But for me, the biggest reason to party has always been to find new team members. You're training your host on how to be a consultant. So the ultimate goal is to then hand that host their party. So I never, ever, ever walk into a party wanting to walk out with a PRV. Ever. I don't want it. I want to give it to them because I want them to sign up. I want to hand them that PRV as their launch party. So I've never counted on the PRV from parties for my PRV for the month. Does it happen sometimes? Yeah, because not everybody wants it, and that's fine. But the goal for parties number one is to find new team members. Number two, if that host doesn't want to join, is to then find new customers because their guests are going to be your customers. You can then talk to them about hosting their own party, about joining, all of that. But so when I say that, you know, yes, we're booking up our calendar with parties because we want new team members. But what happens when we sign up every one of our hosts and we get to keep 0 of that PRV? Because we shouldn't keep that PRV. It belongs to that host because that's their party. Those are their customers. They worked for that. What then? Then where's our PRV going to come from? Well, if you have a solid Scentsy Club foundation, it comes from there first, then LTOs, then regular orders that you have coming in. But really and truly, I fully believe this. Unless it is an order from a party, I 100% believe that every order should be coming in at Scentsy Club because they get a discount. They get discounted shipping. They can use a half price item. Do you go to Target and leave your red card at home? No, you don't. Do you go to Starbucks without scanning your stars? No, you don't. So why in the world would we want our customers to be buying Scentsy if it's not through Club? Because they get that discount. They get those points. So every single order, we should be talking to our customers about Club. I mean, does that mean that that same specific order is going to come in every 1, 2, or 3 months? No, because you can change it up every time you order, right? So our customers are going to do the same thing. But if you look ahead at your Scentsy Club, that is a roadmap to how much PRV you are going to have, and then you can add to it from there. So yes, book up your calendar in the next week, but also focus on bolstering,
Beefing up.
beefing up your Scentsy Club subscriptions. Sorry guys, words are hard today. Because that's going to just set a good solid foundation for you, and it serves your customers well. Wouldn't you be so mad if you bought something from somebody and then you found a coupon like 10 minutes later? I freaking hate that. When you go to order something online and then you see that you could have used a 10% off coupon, that just burns my biscuits. That makes me so mad. Or when I see that I could have saved on my shipping, you know what I mean? Like that just really pisses me off. So what happens if your customers find out that you could have saved them 10% on that wax and you could have gotten them that tub of wash whips half off? They're going to be happy with you? No, probably not.
Listen, I'm feeling convicted because I just put in an order last night and I really could have saved her 10%.
And sometimes they say no, and that's fine.
Right.
But like, we at least need to be offering it, you know? And right now is such a perfect time to be talking about Scentsy Club because it's Bring Back My Bar.
Yep.
And then in August, we have all those discontinuing scents. So it's great for Always Get My Bar for that perk, just as a way to talk about it and bring it up. But most people don't join Scentsy Club because of those things. To be really honest with you, they don't. They join because they can get 10% off. So, you can post about Scentsy Club all you want. The best way to get someone to join is talking to them one-on-one, going order by order. Even if it's an order that was placed a few weeks ago, circle back with them and be like, thanks so much. How are you liking your stuff? By the way, next time you order, let me show you how you can save 10% and you can get discounted shipping. Oh, and I could have gotten you that tub of washer whiffs half off or that whiff box half off, whatever. It's not ever too late to tell them that they can save the next time they order. But I just really think that that is a way that we can give ourselves a point buffer is with Scentsy Club with the PRV points. Because I'm going to tell you right now, the best way to earn a Scentsy trip is to front load, whether that's recruits or parties or PRV. Try your very hardest to get all your dream team members to join, or at least to have a zillion conversations in August and September, because the more people you have join in the first 2 months of the incentive period, the better chances you have of them getting certified, promoting to lead, building their own team, getting them to earn the trip too. Because I've been that person that needed more, you know, sponsoring points in January, and it freaking sucks. It sucks. So don't do it to yourself. Front load with sponsoring too, not just with parties. But make it a goal that every party you book to flip it to the host. So even if you're too afraid to, because I get it, you're too afraid to talk to your dream team members about joining, if going right out and saying, I think you'd be great, I want you to join my team, if that's too much, get them to book a party. Walk them through their first launch party. You know what I mean? Because that's what it is. Show them what it means to be a consultant. And it's the same thing with clubs. Show them what it looks like get that discount. You have to show people. And so I just think that I would be remiss in not reminding you of the opportunity to, pad those points with Scentsy Club, and to make sure that we're all forward thinking through the next 6 months and getting those points done early, because it is such a relief to have those points done in the beginning, because then you can really work with them on growing their team. It's just less pressure on yourself. It's not fun to feel like there's just so much pressure at your back when you're going through an incentive period. So do yourself a favor and get it done early. Speaking from experience.
In the comments, I did type out Maggie's simple little verbiage that it's just like, okay, why am I not saying that? It just, next time you order, let me show you how to save 10% off, or maybe save 10%. I don't know, take the off out because that's redundant. Save 10% and get XYZ for half off. So simple. I love that. Good reminder.
Yeah, use it as a coupon. Hey, next time you order, I have a 10% off coupon for you and discounted shipping. Cool.
My two biggest selling points with Scentsy right now, which is becoming actually really popular with people, I'm on like a Whipbox spoiler page now for Facebook. So I like look it through and I'm like, I wonder if any of my customers would like this. And then I kind of like, hey, I think you'd really want the Whiff Box now that has stuff you've ordered before, and then encourage them. I don't like tell them what's in it, but I'm like, you've ordered this before, you would love this, like order it again. And do it through Scentsy Club because you'll get this 10% or whatever it is off. So yeah, that's how I kind of encourage the Scentsy Club a little bit, like while also promoting the Whiff Box. Birds with one stone.
I love that, Joey.
Personally, I like the Whiff Box because I feel like you get more product for the money you're paying.
For sure.
So you definitely get a good amount.
Yeah, and that's what is really good selling point for the Whiff Box. You get to try different products, get better bang for your buck, and that's a good reminder too. And getting it 10% off in club. Okay, who else the value is awesome. Who else has things that they're doing to prep and get ready to earn the incentive? Things that you are already planning, maybe tips that I missed. Kaylin, you have your hand gently raised.
Yes, sorry, I came home with the SFR flu.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So my children are taking advantage of me sitting around. But one thing that I actually talked about right before SFR was reaching back out to consultant support and asking for the list of consultants on our team who are eligible for reinstatement. Because when I was looking at my sales report, my business report for SFR, it told me that I had like 17 consultants who are eligible for reinstatement. And so that triggered my mind to think like, okay, well, not all 17 of them are going to be interested in coming back or continuing. I know that for a fact because I've spoken to some of them, but there are some who maybe fell off and they're only 100 PRV away from certified. And maybe if they can get that boost, see that pay raise, then they will be motivated. Because I've had, just since SFR, I've had 3 teammates who are very quickly falling off, that have reached out to me. One of them I've never spoken to. I've tried and she's never responded. And she is at like 560 PRV. And so we were chatting on my drive home. And she was asking about testers and what the different tester sets were. And so I got very excited for her because she's never asked me a question about business supplies ever. That's totally fine. And then I have another gal she shared about the incentive trip, but I also like she very rarely gets her 200. Like she'll get it every 6 months or so, and just to keep herself active. But she posted about the incentive trip, and so I messaged her and I said, "Hey, if you're actually wanting to earn this, like let's chat. I want to earn it too, so let's go together. Let's figure it out together." And she's very, very excited about it. And I have been seeing her posting a lot more. So, she has a customer base, so helping her promote to leads. So not only helping her find ways to promote and other teamies get certified and things to help them with the trip if they want to earn it, but then again, like we were talking about with sponsoring points, oftentimes other teammate promotions give us points. And so hopefully that'll still be the case this year, but if not, then, you know, still feeling good about helping other people earn that trip that want to.
I love that. I'm
Well,
glad you're having this
sometimes
conversation. Oh,
sorry.
Jinx.
Go. Same time. Sometimes a reinstatement doesn't want to come back, but they want to host a party again because they know the perks of like the free and half price stuff. And so they might bring you a new consultant, even if they don't want to sign back up, they might bring you somebody who does. So I don't ever count out reinstatements, but that is a great idea, Kaylin. I did that a couple years ago, asked for the reinstatement list.
Yes.
I need to do that again today.
Yeah, that's what
I mean, it's worth an ask. So for my 5x5, on your list, Ariel, like that's my one offer. I can go through that 17 days worth of one offers if I, you know, if I actually stick to it, or when I stick to it.
When
I get there.
You will. Also, for those of you who didn't know, if you have previously have had frontline who have canceled, not just team members, they have to be frontline, you can ask support for a canceled frontline list. And they will send you the list of anybody who has been your frontline and canceled, except roll-ups and reinstatements who were a different sponsor originally. For whatever reason, they don't include those. But if you sponsored them and they have canceled, you can request a list from consultant support of those people so that you can contact them. Cool?
You can also run your own report in your PW, in your back office, because I actually did that today. I did it manually, and I had somebody come from a different consultant, but it showed up on my list as when she came through. So going in today's list, there was 17 on my list, and she actually popped up from the when she reinstated under me. So it'll actually take you, I think it took me back all the way to 2019.
But
how did you find that?
Was it all of your people though that pulled up on the list?
I'm pretty sure, I don't think that I missed anybody on here. And she's one that there was two of them that didn't originally sign up under me, but when they did like the reinstate, they came up on my list when I just went back through the other one that she prompted, because I was like, oh, I totally forgot about her, because I knew she was, and she was actually a certified consultant. And that's who I had bought from prior to being a consultant. And she popped up on my list when she reinstated in 2021.
What I meant was, were you able to pull all those people aside from your team, like only those people, or were they intermixed with people who are current as well?
Mixed.
Okay. I can't do that. It's 10 years of, I'm gonna have to go to consultant. I was really excited to be able to do it on my own. I'm just gonna ask consultant support.
What report was it that you ran?
I just went to my team, with my team report.
Is there a
like anniversary?
Is there a column on there though that says their consultant status, like active or canceled? Because a lot of times the reports will have a column that says if they're active or not. So then Ariel, you then could just filter down to the active ones. You know what I mean?
I'll play around.
I mean, I know consultant support is so fast about it though. For those of you who do want to ask for your list, like if you get on chat within like 5 minutes
before I would be able to finagle all the columns.
Probably. But yeah, so it literally like within 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how long your wait to talk to somebody, they are very, very quick about it. When I got my list last year, I think it was like 2 or 3 minutes. I was in and out of chat with them.
Boom. Love that. Awesome. Okay. Does anybody else have any other tidbits, tips? If you've earned, oh, I see Whitney. Go ahead, Whitney.
Yeah, I have two that you haven't talked about yet. The first one is something that I've started to do here recently in the last month is watch who's watching you. So if you're sharing stories, look to see who's watching you consistently. If you shared about SFR, go through the list of anyone who liked, loved, commented on your post about Scentsy, to reach out to them. Same thing for your VIP group. You can see who's watching your, well, I can't do it for right now for some reason, but in a group setting, you should be able to see who is watching you. So who has seen your post. Go through those, see who's watching you consistently, and just reach out to them. That might be someone who's not interacting with you, but that is watching you. And then for my frontline, for the incentive coming up, anyone who isn't certified yet, that's one thing that I'll be reaching out to one-on-one to say, hey, we have, it's our last month of our current catalog, 10% off. Would you like to relaunch your party? And offering to do a relaunch with them to help them get to certified for the incentive points. And then obviously anyone frontline and downline who wants to promote, I put something out on our page just to say like, hey, who's ready for more after SFR? The people who respond to that, that's who I'm working closely with one-on-one as well. So really just being intentional with where you're spending your time is super important when you're working an incentive.
Excellent reminders. Be intentional with where you're spending your time. Does anybody else have anything they want to add, or do you feel like we covered it? Awesome. I am really excited to get the point structure so that we can have a tangible breakdown. If you want to kind of start playing around with numbers, you can go based off of last year's point structure. They change it every year just a little bit, so we don't know what it's going to entail, but it's a good foundation. If you're like, man, I'm a numbers person, I want to start kind of planning out what I'll need, go to last year's point structure and kind of play around with that. But we are going to be planning a Zoom that will be recorded next week when we have the point structure in hand, so we can help everybody break it out by title, where you're at, where you want to be, what level you want to get to. And guys, we plan for the top level, just so you know, because if you aim for the top level, the chances are of you getting somewhere along the way are higher, right? We don't just aim for level 1. Okay? Gentle reminder, we don't aim for level 1. We go big and then we go home, you know, and then we go on a trip. You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. I can't wait to see you on our planning call, and I will get this recording to your leaders so that we can share it out, because chances are you have teammates or friends who might gain something from this call and help them prep for it, because we want to travel with our friends. Amen. Yes, I want to travel with all my friends. So we're going to be on that boat. We're going to plan, we're going to do, and I can't wait to see you guys next week. All right, guys. Talk soon. Bye.